Bonjour, mes amours. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your extremely debonair and dashing host, Connor. If you have not, already if you've not already, oh my gosh, well, okay, so not as debonair or, suave or anything as I imagined. If you have not already gleaned that from my title, my channel's name. Wow, I'm butchering this intro. Wow, I'm butchering this. Anyways, my name is Connor, and today what we are doing is reviewing / ranking / rating your favorite fashion trends. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My camera's freaking out. I don't know why it keeps adjusting light to dark like this. Unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna have to live with that because I don't know how to stop that from happening. A few weeks ago, I posted an Instagram story asking people to send me their favorite trends, trends, so that I could rate them, rank them for a YouTube video. And today, we're going to go through all of them. Roll the intro! Okay, there's actually no intro. Didn't have really the budget this week to, throw an intro in, but, just imagine there's like a cool inserted intro right here, right? All right, and thank you to our wonderful, lovely production team for putting together that beautiful intro to us. Let's move right into ranking these trends. Starting with number 1, Selvedge and Raw Denim. If you've been on any kind of fashion social media platforms, pages, accounts, whatever, in the last, year, maybe a little bit longer, it's all about Selvedge and Raw Denim right now. Everybody's obsessed with it. Everybody loves it. I get it. It's like a really high quality kind of denim, or for the most part, at least it started as that. Now, you have knockoffs like Zara trying to make Selvedge denim, which I'm sure is probably pretty awful. But I mean, that's the cool stuff right now. That's what's trending. That's what everybody's doing right now, is the Selvedge Raw Denim. And I'll say this, I do think that it's cool in theory. I understand why people like it. However, because it's becoming like fast fashionized, most Selvedge denim is kind of just a buzzword at this point. Like there's only there's not really that many places you can get like amazing quality Selvedge denim I'm sorry. Most of it is honestly kind of just buzzwords and it's just trending. Raw denim I also don't like as much because it's stiff and it's just kind of, you have to break it in. And I get that that's the allure for a lot of people, right? A lot of people like it because you have to break it in. You have to put your own wear into it. I like my jeans to be a little bit more comfy, so I kind of like them to go through a wash before I actually start wearing them. I understand why people like them. I just think that they're starting to become like an elitist kind of mindset around it, where like people think they're better than other people when it comes to fashion. At least from what I've seen online, just because they have like Selvedge or Raw denim. Still really cool. Japan has like a huge hand in that, and I think that's super awesome because I'm Japanese. Overall, I'm gonna be a little harsh and people aren't gonna like this, but I'm gonna rate this trend probably a 6 out of 10, 6 or 7 out of 10, something around there. Like I said, I think it's cool, but I just think it's gotten blown way out of proportion, and now it's becoming fast fashionized, and it just doesn't hold the same meaning it did. And I don't like the way that people are treating it within like the online fashion community personally. So we're gonna start out real strong in pissing off the fashion community. Next up, we're going to go with Tabis, another inherently Japanese product. Those have been everywhere. If you say that you like fashion in any capacity and you pay attention at all online, just like the Selvedge Raw Denim, Tabis have been exploding over the last year or two, right? Like absolutely just through the roof. I do believe my grandpa had a pair of Tabis growing up. I don't really recall. I was familiar with them growing up, but I never really got into that much because I'm also half white, and so I just kind of grew up wearing regular sneakers. That being said, I do enjoy the fact that my culture is kind of getting highlighted in fashion so much. I think Tabis are very cool, but again, in the same way, in the same kind of mindset of the Selvedge and Raw Denim trend, I really dislike how the people who own them nowadays treat people who don't, and treat themselves once they get it. It feels like, again, I love Tabis. I think they're cool, but it just feels like people are using them as a symbol to say, hey, I'm cooler than you. I dress better than you. I know more about fashion than you because I have Tabis. When in reality, most of them, it's not even that. It's just, oh, you have money to spend at Margiela or something. Okay, I don't really care. Or you don't have money. You just have a credit card, or you have parents' money. I don't really care that much. I think it's become more of a signal to other people than it has been than it is used for actual stylistic fashion purposes. I feel like it's been that way for probably about a year now, honestly. And so for that reason, again, I'm probably gonna rate it a 6 out of 10 just because I do think it's cool. I think they're above average, but I mean, I think the fashion community has really started to, not everybody, of course, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but some people have definitely really been pisses me off with their elitism when it comes to the Tabis. So if you like them, buy them. I don't like the mindset, and I don't like the mindset and like the elitism that comes with it. Tabis themselves, cool. Let's talk about another fun one, barrel jeans. Those have been really popular as of late, mostly on women. I'd say I'd seen them mostly out of like women's wear companies making barrel jeans. I think like the first time I saw it was like Free People were making them, or I mean, I saw a couple other people, but like wearing them. But the first time I saw like a company like making them, I think it was Free People, like the Free People barrel jeans. I think those like went crazy viral or something. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, in my honest opinion, I like the barrel jeans. I think that they're just the right amount of divisive, where like some people love them and some people like really hate them, which I think is really fun when it comes to fashion. I love when things are very divisive like that, where people have like very strong opinions either way. Personally, to be completely frank, I do also like the look of them. I think they don't look as good, I think, when you're walking. It depends. And again, I think they're also something that unfortunately caters to a more specific body type. But I will say that I do think that they look better than they don't typically when like worn and styled well. I enjoy looking at them personally. I enjoy seeing them styled. I understand why people don't like them. I understand why people don't like the silhouette. I understand why people don't, you know, I understand all that. However, I am going to rate it probably a 7.5 out of 10, just because I do like them. I think that they're above average. I like to look at them. I don't think they're perfect, but they're at least fun and like a new kind of, or a newer silhouette of jean that I enjoy looking at. This is a fun one. Men in skirts. This is a very, very interesting one, and I'm sure that y'all are going to be interested in what I have to say, because I guess if you don't know my Instagram or my TikTok page, which shameless plug, you know, go give me a little follow, maybe a little like or something like that. I don't know. If you don't know anything about me, I basically blew up because I tend to incorporate a lot of feminine styles within my own style. Yeah, I wear a lot of women's wear. I wear a lot of things that are traditionally for women, but the one of the only things I never really got behind and I never really tried or really desired to try is skirts as a guy. Now, I'll be honest, at first, I really, really dislike this. And it's not because it's, oh, guys shouldn't wear skirts. I mean, I actually wear mostly women's clothes, to be completely honest. I never really liked the silhouette that they gave off, especially on me. I feel like most of the time I've seen them, it depends on how they're structured, but most of the time I've seen them, I feel like they just make guys' hips look really big, which I just don't think that's a flattering silhouette on guys. I prefer, you know, like a smaller waist and like the inverted triangle. I feel like the classic masculine shape that like you typically tend to think of when you think of like, oh, this is the manly physique, the manly body type. I think that that's more aesthetically pleasing, and so because of that, I don't like the super wide hips, and I feel like every time I'd seen it done, the skirts on men kind of like accentuated the hips, and I already have really wide hips as a dude. Like I just have like abnormally wide hips, and so I just never got into it just because I know it wouldn't fit well on me. That being said, I will say that I think it's grown on me. It's one of those things where like I've seen it so much that I'm kind of like, oh wait, do I actually like this? That's the tough part about the internet, is like sometimes you just see things so much that eventually you're just like, oh man, maybe I like this because I've been exposed to it 100,000 times. And I'm very much so like that. I can be convinced of a lot of things given enough time and enough exposure. Like most of the music that I like because my best friend would always drive us around, and he would be on aux because he was driving, and he always preferred it, and I was like, I don't really care that much. I wasn't big into music at the time, but he got me into most of the musical genres that I enjoy just by virtue of me having to listen to these songs over and over and over. Like I was an avid country music hater in high school, like avid. Oh my god, I couldn't stand country. It like that like rattled my brain in a bad way. Okay, but then I was with my buddy and he listened to country so much. One day I was kind of like, oh, you know what? Maybe this tractor beer farming music is kind of great. I kind of want to go fishing right now. No offense to all you country lovers. I love country too now. So, you know, I mean, I think it's good. I'm ashamed to admit that. I'm sorry to, you know, people who knew me way back when, but I've switched sides. I'm a country guy now. I'm a country guy. What can I say? I like country. I mean, sue me. What do we want me to say? I don't know. What were we talking about? Oh. Men in skirts. That being said, I feel like I've just been exposed to it so many times, and because so many more people have tried it, I think I started to find outfits that I actually enjoyed. And I thought, you know what? Like, it is interesting to look at. It's not for me. I think that it's very, very hard to style, but I think that if you style right, it is good. That being said, I think most people don't style it well. So because of that, I'm gonna give it probably a 5 out of 10. I think it's just like average. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just kind of right in the middle. All right, moving on to the next one. This is very popular right now. That is the Fireman clasps, like the metal clasps on jackets and other things. So I know Loewe obviously did their big like whatever thing, but I think there was another, I think I saw somebody actually wear, I don't know if you guys saw this TikTok. Okay, sorry, I'm rambling, but about like a year ago, or maybe it was, I don't know, TikTok makes everything seem so much further away. Maybe it was like 9 months ago, 9 months to a year ago, where a guy got an old fireman's jacket and actually cut the bottom off of it and wore it. And I literally, the first thing I noticed was, oh my gosh, those closures are so cool. And he got so much hate because they're like, oh my gosh, why would you wear a fireman jacket? You're like such a loser. Why, this is so stupid. And then other people loved it, which is kind of why I liked it, because, you know, divisive. But I was like, oh my gosh, the closures on these, so tough, so tough. So because of that, I really enjoy seeing them. I think that they're definitely just going to be a trend. I'm sure that they're going to go out of style very fast. The people who love them will keep wearing them, but I think that they're going to hit and then leave very quickly, because I don't think they have very much longevity. I think at the very absolute max, the absolute max, oh my gosh, the absolute max, I think we're going to see them through probably one more year, through the next fall, maybe winter-ish, but most likely through the fall. So because I don't think they have a lot of time, I think that they have a very small shelf life, but I do think they're cool. I'm going to rate these a 6. Yeah, 6. I think 6 is fair. All right, this one I got so many questions about, and I know I got questions about it because it's me, but that is ballet flats specifically for guys. Well, not specifically for guys. Some guys said specifically for guys, but just ballet flats in general, just the rise of people wearing ballet flats. And I have to be honest with you, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, this is probably a 9 out of 10 for me, maybe even a 10 out of 10, because for me, this isn't a trend, right? So one of the things I love to wear the most, oh my gosh, there goes the light again. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing right now? I love ballet flats. Actually, let me show y'all. These right here are some of my favorite and most worn shoes. These are ballet flats by Camper. I love these with these big, like thick straps. I wanted the ones from Margiela, the anatomical ballet flats, but one, expensive, two, of course they don't make my size because I'm a dude. Camper, however, makes sizes that fit me. I love these. These are some of my favorite shoes. You'll see these in so many of my outfits on my page. It's unfortunately winter. Also, look at my toes. I'm realizing my toes are starting to make creases. How funny is that? It's finally almost spring, so I can finally start to wear these again, spring and summer. I definitely wear those in the spring and summer more often, or more than I do in the winter and the fall. But I love ballet flats. I'm a huge proponent of them. I think they're comfortable. I think they look cool. My obsession with ballet flats started out with Mary Janes. I always thought Mary Janes on girls looked so unbelievably cool. I was always so jealous that like I couldn't wear them because, well, one, I was scared, and two, they never had my size. But once I mustered up the courage to like finally do that and get a pair of Mary Janes, I was like, oh my gosh, I love these. And that's influenced a lot of my shoe choices. Like I have a pair of like the penguin loafers, which I'll post a photo so you know what I'm talking about, even though I could just grab them right there, but I'm kind of lazy to be honest. And I love those because they look like they have a Mary Jane strap. So if you wear them with white socks, it looks like a Mary Jane. I guess I'll group Mary Janes for guys in with this, but ballet flats and Mary Janes, I really love. I love a very like thin profile shoe, like a very slim silhouette. I just think they're fun. I think there's something cool about them, something I like, something again that's very divisive. A lot of people really hate that, and they hate seeing dudes wear them in the same way that they hate guys wearing skirts. I do think that ballet flats have a little bit more longevity. I don't think that they'll be around for a long time. I mean, I don't think they'll ever hit like mainstream. In the fashion community, I think that they'll stay around for a little while. Like I said, I'm always gonna wear them. I'm gonna make some for my brand for the rest of my life probably. So they'll always be a staple for me. Because of that, I have to rate them like a 9 because I love them. I love looking at them. I love seeing them styled. And I think that they're gonna last a little bit longer. Maybe I'm biased. I mean, who knows? I probably am. But I mean, it's just what I love. I just love them. What can I say? I love them. Next up is animal print. We've been seeing animal print everywhere for the last couple of years, probably especially the last year plus, 6 months with the leopard print. Oh my gosh, leopard print, like we all know, leopard print exploded last year. And I love leopard print. I've always loved animal prints. This light is actually going to make me blow up my local Target. This is crazy. I'm gonna go commit arson because of this. All right, whatever. What can you do? I apologize for the light show in the background. Unfortunately, we just kind of gotta live with it. Animal print. I love leopard print. My sister has been into leopard print, cow print, everything since like before I can even remember. So I kind of grew up seeing like all that stuff even before I cared about style personally. And so for me, I've never seen them as trendy because my sister never saw them as trendy, and she's one of those people who like I guess like kind of pioneered, or maybe not pioneered, but she definitely set a subconscious foundation in my mind about fashion. And so because of that, I've never seen those as like trendy things. I've always just seen them as like basic wardrobe items, if that makes sense. Like I've always loved leopard print since I got into style like, I don't know, 8 or 9 years years ago. I've always owned something leopard print and cow print. I have a cow print camera strap actually on my film camera that I've had since, I don't know, I think I was in high school. And so I love animal print. I get bummed that they're gonna go out of style, but also I understand why they're gonna go out of style, right? I mean, we've seen them spammed. The cow print right now, oh my God, cow print is everywhere. You can't do anything without thinking you're walking through a farm. Like, you walk through the streets of New York and it's like you're a cattle herder. Like, there's just cow print everywhere on everything. I say that as if like I live in New York. I was there for like, I don't know, like 8 days out of the last like year or so. But anyways, I digress. Cow print, huge. I'm sure we'll move into some kind of other animal print like snake skin, zebra print. Zebra print is always one of those ones that bounce back. Zebra print, giraffe print. I've seen giraffe print coming around on a couple different things. I hesitate to say this because I want this to be something that's not exclusive, but something that's kind of a staple in my brand. But Dalmatian print, we're seeing a tiny bit more of, and I'm working on some stuff in Dalmatian print because that's my favorite. I think that's my favorite animal print of all time. Maybe next to leopard, but I'd say it's probably like up there for me. So because animal prints like kind of always have their run through, they kind of go in and out. I still love them. I'm gonna have to rate it an 8 because again, like I love them so much. I think they're so great. However, I know that they kind of go in and out of style, and that's just like not really that great in, you know, in like a sustainability, ethical perspective. So because of that, I have to dock a few points, even though they are some of my favorite things. I love animal print so much. We'll go with 8 for that one. Next up, we got boots. All right, all kind of boots. I'm gonna rate a couple different kind of boots because people were just like boots in general. Like I think I had 50 people ask me to review boots and cowboy boots and hiking boots and boots and boots and boots, boots. So many boots. Oh my gosh, you'd swear that I was Dora or something. Oh my God, boots everywhere, boots everywhere. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really that big a boot person. I like sneakers, I like loafers. I've always liked thinner, you know, silhouette shoes. Sometimes I like a chunky sneaker, but I've typically liked that slimmer profile. Boots have never really been my thing. I have personally never liked boots. I have, I think, 2 pairs of boots that I actually genuinely enjoy. So for boots in general, I will say this. I live in Southern California, so I don't really get to experience the versatility or the practicality of them a lot. So because of that, like they kind of go down a little bit, but I will kind of actually, I guess, reverse that because I know that for most of the world who isn't me, they're just very practical, right? They're very practical. They're very useful. Something went wrong with my camera. I had to check that out real quick. I apologize for that. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Boots. Can you guys hear my chair creaking? This old rickety chair. I've had this chair since high school. That's a really random tangent. I'm super sentimental. I've had this chair since high school. I've had to rebuild and fix it like 6 times at this point because it keeps breaking, but I refuse to get rid of it. Anyways, I like boots because they're practical. I don't like boots on me, but I do like seeing them. They're not my favorite though. So boots as an overall, I'm gonna give a 7.5. I think that's fair for me. Maybe an 8, because again, I don't really like them, to be completely honest with you, but like, I think they're cool on other people. I think other people wear them very well. And again, they're very practical, very useful. Now, hiking boots specifically, I will say they have grown on me a little bit more, but I'm still gonna rate it a 5 because, or 5, maybe 6. I'll go with 5. I think they're just average to me. I don't really care for them. I feel like, again, it's kind of just another like signal thing. Like, oh, hey, look at me. I wear like hiking boots. Like, oh, I'm trendy, whatever. And I guess, to be fair, this is a video about trends, so of course everything's going to be like that. But again, like, hiking boots are never used for what they're practically supposed to be used for, but I do think they look cool. I think I'd give them about a 5 or a 6. Cowboy boots, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. Y'all can hate me all you want for this. I'm going to give like a 3, maybe a 4. I don't like cowboy boots that much. I understand why people like them. I don't like the pointed toe. I feel like they're so performative at this point. I feel like they're just so performative. I feel like a lot of people who wear cowboy boots don't actually wear them anymore because they actually like them. It's very different where I live. People where I live, like, actually, I feel like it fits a lot of the people here, but for the most part, I feel like people who wear cowboy boots, like, I just feel like it doesn't fit them as people. And that might be controversial. I have tried cowboy boots in the past because I was like, oh, you know what? Everybody's wearing cowboy boots. Why don't I try a pair, thrift a pair, see if I like them? I hated them. I really disliked them. I don't think they went well with my style. In hindsight, I don't know what the hell I was doing with those. I should have just known. I should have known, but then again, I'm a little bit more fashionably mature and knowledgeable at this point. But I will say, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think that they can look good. There's people who style them well. Of course, there's always going to be people who look great in them. I'm just not a big fan of them. I personally, I don't like them. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. A big 180 from that, we're going into loafers. Loafers for me, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10. I don't even know if I need to explain. Loafers, I feel like, are a shoe crafted by God for me. I feel like God sat up in heaven and said, what's the best possible shoe that I can make for Connor Chase? Oh, I think it would be a loafer. Let me craft a loafer. Here, Connor, here are loafers. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's God. Ah. You know, because it's like God, like you're not really supposed to be seeing God, you know what I'm saying? Like if God was like saying like, oh, like talking to me, I'd probably be like, my eyes, my eyes. You know what I mean? I love loafers. I love dressing them up. I love dressing them down. I love wearing really, really formal outfits with loafers so that I look too casual. I love wearing really, really casual outfits with loafers so that I look a little bit more formal. I think loafers are the greatest shoes on the planet. I wear them every chance I can get. I actually have a pair on my feet right now. I thrifted these in Rome. These are my go-to shoes, by the way. My beater shoes. I wear these quite literally everywhere, all the time. I love loafers so much. I think they fit every situation. People can disagree with that. I don't really care. I love them. I love them to death. And I've loved all of like the crazy, like zany, weird ways that people have been making them and changing them lately. I think that they're just so much fun. I love the low profile, like sleek look of a lot of them, but then I also love like the experimentation and like the craziness and the wild different styles that I've seen people have lately. The one that always comes to mind that I really, really love is Marnie made some woven loafers a long time ago. I always wish I had bought them, but like, you know, whatever. Maybe one day I'll own them. They are absolutely stunning though. They're super beautiful, but like, that being said, loafer, oh, it's raining now. That being said, I love loafers. I just do love them. There's nothing else I can say other than I think they're perfect and quite literally a God-made instrument for mankind. All right, let's round this off and get through this. I'm gonna kind of go through these a little bit quicker just so this video isn't too crazy long because my videos can be very long because I ramble a lot. Polka dots and other classic patterns. I honestly rate these a 9 out of 10. I love the classic patterns. They're timeless. I think they look great. I think they go great with with everything. I mean, polka dots obviously having their moment. Stripes just had a crazy moment this last year and I'm sure they're gonna stay in for a long time. I love them. I think they're great, phenomenal. I'm gonna rate them a 9 out of 10. I would choose these over any crazy graphic probably 10 out of 10 times. Men in crop tops. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love this one. I think I'm gonna give this one an 8. The reason for that is, one, I think it looks a lot better on people. I'm gonna throw out the proportion buzzword, you know, proportions, whatever. I do think it looks great on most people. And for me specifically, I'm gonna be real vulnerable with y'all, all right? When I grew up, I was a chunky, chubby kid, all right? I was always insecure with my body. I'm still wildly insecure with my body, wildly insecure with how I look. In the last year or so, I've really been like, well, okay, let me backtrack. I've played sports my whole life, all the way through college, and then once college was done, I kind of took time off because I was pretty burnt out from, you know, doing sports my whole life. And then I basically, again, just kind of ballooned up, got really big, and got, again, just wildly insecure. And so this past year, I worked my ass off to like really get in shape, to really like be happier with my physical appearance, I guess, if that makes sense. Not that, you know, you should be happy based on your physical appearance, but like, I mean, it's nice to like be in shape and to go to the gym and work out and to start eating healthy. So I started cooking. I learned how to cook for myself. I started buying groceries like a real adult. Like, I'm proud of that. And to be completely honest, I kind of want to show off a little bit. Not show off, but like, I'm like proud of the hard work that I put on. And I think that wearing a more cropped, like not like super cropped, like my whole stomach is out or something, like a little bit more cropped, you know, sometimes I lift my arms up, you can like, you see a little bit, like I'm proud of that work, you know, and I'm still not even where I want. I'm still not completely secure in who I am. I don't think that I ever will be, to be honest, but like I have put in work. And so I do like them. I think they look good. I think that I feel good in them. I have to rate them high. I think I said 8 out of 10. And I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but you know, that's okay. This is my YouTube channel, not yours. So stay out of here, you scoundrel with your differing opinions. Next up, we got Biiiiiiig Jorts, and the person who wrote this, I think, wrote like 10 eyes in there. Like, there's just like big jorts. This is another one that really grew on me. I hated these at first. I did not like them. I've always been a short shorts guy. I'm still mostly a short shorts guy. I will always prefer short shorts. However, I do think that there's a time and place for big jorts. I think they're fun. I think they're maybe a little bit more streetwear than what I traditionally like to wear. That being said, I do enjoy them. They're just a different silhouette than I'm used to because I was too young to remember when they were big in like the 90s and the early 2000s. They've grown on me. They've definitely grown on me, and they continue to grow on me. I will say the ones that go like all the way to your shins or like to your ankles, those ones I find a little bit crazy, but then again, maybe those will grow on me. I don't know. I'm so fickle. Like I just kind of like, you can change my, you could show, if you sat me down and like tape my eyes open like they did in all those movies and then just flash like 100 images or something, I'm sure by the end of it, I will actually be legitimately brainwashed into liking it. You could probably show me like 6 images and I would still flop like that. Like I'm so fickle. I don't even know why you're asking me for my fashion advice. Like I'll probably change it tomorrow. I'll probably make a new video tomorrow and could be completely contradictory of this entire thing. That being said, I like the big jorts. I think that they're probably a solid 7 out of 10. I think that people do them wrong a lot. I think that there's a lot of pairs that look really awful, but I think there's a lot of, I think there's mostly pairs that look good. And frankly, I've liked this silhouette on it. I did go with a 7 instead of higher because I don't like them with loafers on me because I have small feet. So that's just kind of a personal bias and kind of a cheap shot at them. Technically, they probably should be a little bit higher, but you know, whatever. Bold pops of color. I loved this so much and I still do, but now I'm not so much enjoying the neutrals. It was fun seeing the neutral fits with the bright pop of color, but now I've always been a really colorful person. I've always loved color in clothing. I've loved color in life. I mean, you can see my room. It's just very colorful. Actually, let me show y'all. Hold on. Let me show you my art wall. Let me pick it. This is my art wall. It's just very, very colorful. A lot of, you know, like different stuff like that, and there's just a lot of color around my room because I've always just been a colorful person. I love color. I think it's so exciting. It's fun to look at. I love color, you know. I really do. I loved when people started doing bold pops of color with their monochrome neutral outfits. Now I think it's a little bit boring and cheaty, if that makes sense. I think it's getting a little elementary with people only doing it with like the sandwich method. I think that that looks very like elementary fashion to me personally. No offense to anybody who does it. I just think that it's kind of a cop out. I mean, literally, like, if I ever want to be lazy with what I wear, like, I'll just do that. Like, I feel like that's a lazy fashion move to just do the sandwich method. Or like a very like intro beginner, which again, there's nothing wrong with this, but I just feel like once you kind of like grasp your style a little bit more, you're just less likely to go for that because it's just elementary, you know? So I don't think that I so much like bold pops of color. I just like a lot of color. I'd love to just see people wearing more outfits that are just all colorful. We don't have to just do all black and white with like red in it, you know. Just do like, there's this girl named Dahana. I'll just put a picture here. She has this gorgeous bright green coat that I'm obsessed with. I love it. I think it's so cool. Like, why can't we just wear like and then she always wears it. She styles it with like a bunch of colors too. Like, it's so cool. Like, why can't we just all be more colorful? I say in my navy blue and my black sweats and my black loafers. God, I'm such a hypocrite. I will say this. I do understand why people don't do it as much. It's the same reason why I don't do it as much, because it's difficult. It's hard to style a lot of color. I'm gonna be completely upfront and say, like, I'm not phenomenal at it. I'm trying to get better, but like, it's difficult. And for a lot of people, it's not only is it difficult, but it's daunting, and you're honestly more likely to not do it well. So I get why people don't. I still would like to see more of it. I'm gonna rate bold pops of color a 6 out of 10. I'm gonna say wearing a lot of colors and being super bright and out there, I'm gonna rate that an 8.5 out of 10. All right, we're in the home stretch right now. We got interesting belts up next. And yes, that was what several people said, just interesting belts. So I'm just gonna say any belt with a bit of character, anything that's not basic. I am kind of bad at accessorizing, to be completely honest with you. So I don't really go for interesting belts because it's easier for me to do other stuff. However, I will say that I have been loving them. I've been loving seeing people use them. I think that they're very, very extremely fun to look at. And I do think that they add a lot. However, I will say that I don't like the way people have been wearing belts lately, in the sense that I think most of the time people wear belts, they actually like don't match their outfit in like a color sense. Like, I think people are just honestly kind of really bad at styling belts. Again, like, no offense to anybody, but the streetwear thing right now is kind of just anything with a lot of details. Any maximalist thing you just throw together, regardless of if they go together, if any of the colors are cohesive in any way, not matching, but cohesive, if the fit makes sense, if it makes sense like with the fit the other pieces. Like, I just feel like there's a large lack of cohesion amongst streetwear, and that's like kind of what's in, and that's fine. I love juxtaposition. I love pairing things that don't go together in like a societal standpoint. Like, I like wearing sneakers with suits. I think that's really cool. However, I will say that there's still ways to wear pieces that look cohesive together, but I think a lot of people just see a cool belt and they throw that on with anything, and they think think because it's a cool belt, it goes well with the fit, when in reality, that is not the case at all. So that being said, I love interesting belts. I wish everything was more interesting. That's my one thing with fashion that I wish, is I just wish everybody dressed more interesting. It was just more like intriguing to look at on the street. Because of that, I do like the belts, but I think most people style them very poorly now and just use them as a scapegoat, as I, just said, and I'm just repeating myself. Because of that, I'm probably gonna rate them a 4, honestly. I think if people started styling them well, they'd probably be like a 7 to me, 7, maybe 8, maybe even higher, like way higher. I just think I've seen so many done so poorly. Now it's just any belt that has any kind of embellishment, anything on it. It's not even if the belt looks good. Like, it could be a belt with the ugliest like embellishments and pieces and like details on it that you've ever seen in your entire life, but it's just, oh, because this belt has a ton of random crap on it, even though it doesn't make sense, not make sense, but it doesn't look good, even though it looks like probably kind of bad. And again, that's objective. It's a lack of thought, a lack of effort. It's just like a, hey, let's throw anything onto a belt, and that's the idea. It's not, let's think about what we're throwing onto the belt and why it would make sense. It's, let's throw anything onto the belt, and now that it has stuff on it, it's cool because it's embellished and it has stuff. And I don't like that mindset when it comes to fashion. I just really don't. I think that actually genuinely like ruins it for me when it becomes more about just like trying to look cool than like the actual thought behind it. I just don't like that much. So that takes it down to a 4. Without that, like I said, it's high. It's high for me because I think I want to see more interesting everything. And the last one for today is Maximalist Accessories. I had a lot of people ask about this. This is going to be along the same lines as the last one. I love Maximalist Accessories. I think it looks so cool. I think it is such an like amazing, wonderful idea. I think it's so fun to look at. It's so exciting. And yet I think so many people do it so bad that it just drags it down for me. Because here's the thing, when people who are very fashionable are maximalist, they get stuff that like really encompasses their personality. It really makes sense to them. There's really thought, and there's a sense of this like resonates with me. I think because streetwear is moving in streetwear being probably the most popular style, I'd argue, at least online right now, because there's such like a strong like pull towards that maximalist style, people are just starting to throw on any accessories, like a billion accessories. And this is the mindset. I say I want to be fashion person. I want to be fashion person. I want to be cool. I want to look cool. Oh, let me walk into this store. Oh my gosh, look at, there's a bunch of cool shiny things. Let me go grab all those and let me put 17 of those on me. Rather than a person who's like walking into a flea for an hour or something and says like, oh my gosh, this necklace really strikes me because I don't know, I'm just drawn to it, or because of X, Y, and Z. A few months later, they're at a store and they say, oh my gosh, this piece in the window caught my eye. I love it so much. Let me do that. And oh my gosh, my mom had this old piece that I've always loved, and she finally gave it to me. It's a lot more thoughtful, a lot more intention. There's a lot more time and work that's put into like building and constructing that. I feel like nowadays with the maximalist jewelry, people just go out and buy 30 different things just so they can look like they have the maximalist jewelry on, and the maximalist accessories look. So again, done right, like done with thought and care and actual like personality, like not just trying to look cool, which, to be completely honest, this is mostly just going to be people you don't see online, because people like that don't really do it to be seen online. They do it just because it's them. I think when it's done like that, I love it. I would call it a 9 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10. I think it's beautiful. But the way, to be completely honest, that I'm seeing most people do it online, again, not a shot at anybody, because this is completely subjective. If you like the way it looks, you like the way it looks. But I think because there's just like such a lack of thought behind it, there's such a lack of personality. It's just a desire to like look cool and stand out and follow the trends. At least that is the kind of mindset that I'm kind of feeling like when I see a lot of these posts. Because of that, honestly, like, it's like a 2 for me. I feel like you can, like, there's a TikTok video that was like, oh, you can tell when a man's jewelry is performative. And then like they're doing that for all these other things. Like, you can tell when a whatever is performative. And I feel like that's just one of those things where you can tell when somebody's maximalist style or jewelry is performative. You can tell very, very easily when it's performative. I think more often than not, I see stuff that's performative, and because of that, it really turns me off. I'm not a fan of it. That's not to say I've never done that. I'm not infallible, you know. I do dumb stuff, and sometimes I have the desire to be liked and to feel cool and for people to like my photos. I'm not saying that anybody who does that is like some kind of loser or whatever. Like, that's not my intention at all. I just know that that's what I feel that I've been experiencing, and I could be wrong, it could be right, who knows. I'm just not a fan of it. Anyways, this has been rating/ranking your favorite fashion trends as of late. This light, I actually am gonna end this video like right now, because I can't take it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Let me know if you agree with my rankings or if you would rank things differently, or I don't know, if you had a nice lunch. I had blackberries. So I was trying to see if my tongue was still, you know, dyed black from the blackberries, or purple, I guess. I had blackberries, chips, and guac for lunch. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited to see you in the next video. I love you as always. Y'all are so cute over there behind your screen, watching me ramble about fashion nonsense. You're so cute and precious behind that scene. I love you so much, and take care. Love you. Au revoir. What is it? Au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir, au revoir. Who speaks French here? I don't speak French. I would love to. I'm going to. Okay, what am I even, just goodbye.